Hello everybody, this is a really quick tutorial for anyone who's struggling with the midterm. First you want to do is load up IntelliJ. I'm actually going to go pretty fast on this because if you need to stop it then you can slow it down, or it should be sped up, whatever you want to do. Load up IntelliJ, make sure you have XAMPP installed. Go ahead and start your Apache MySQL. Allow access, allow access. You can open up your admin panel. I'll just pull it into frame here. This is where you're going to be wanting to store your information. Create new. I'm going to make the car database. So car database. Press create. We're going to do car information. I'm hoping this is recording. It should be. 4 columns. We're going to do make it for simplicity reasons. We're going to do a varchar. We'll do 10 model varchar. Year, once again, simplicity reasons for the exam. 10, and then Vin, we'll do varchar, whatever. We'll do 20, just in case. Okay, and now that we have our database, we're going to go press save. Ignore all. Alright, anyways, we got it set up. Create new project. JavaFX application. Car database. Finish. Go to your SRC, right click, do new package, csci.3300. Stuff. I really don't remember what he wanted it to be called. Controller. I don't remember what it said. Do you want us to name the database something else? Let's see what that was said. That was all about. View. View. Model. Delete this. Oops. Delete. All right. I don't quite remember how he wanted us to do naming conventions. Something like that. I don't quite remember. So I'm gonna delete that. This is just to get your code up and running. New package, controller. There we go. Move your sample view, controller into controller. Leave your main out, put it back in the source folder, refactor, delete this, delete. It'll probably say not in the module graph. That's because of some weird changes to Java 10. I'm going to choose, this should work, Java 10.8. There we go. I'm going to load up your view, sample fxml, load up scene builder, controls, text field. Actually, usually this is supposed to come up with a already set up thing. Containers, VBox, I guess. I'm trying to delete this, but it won't work. Alright, you know what? We'll just delete all that. Anchor pane. There we go. Controls. Scroll down to the bottom. Add a text field. Text field. This is the prompt text. We're going to do make. Go ahead and drag in another text field. This is a model. Text field. Year. And then scroll down. You'll see, or actually you don't have to scroll down, in the section of code, click it. That's where you're going to name the FX ID. This is going to be make txt, model txt, year txt, and then txt. Go ahead and save that. Actually, we need a button. Button. Let's put this right at the top. Why not? Register. Actually, we don't have to name it. On action, just do add car, and then we're going to yeah, that looks fine, I guess. Go to text. Actually, we have to change the controller, which I think is already set up perfectly fine. So we're gonna leave that as is. We need a method in the controller called add car. You gotta do fxml. We're gonna do text field make txt model txt vin txt and then year txt. Well, I named something wrong. What's this say? Cannot set scene control to field text year. Whatever. I don't know what that means. This is where you're going to want to import the code, which I haven't set up because I wasn't prepared to do it on the fly like this. I'm going to straight up download the code from under software engineering on the D2L. Table of contents. Oh, geez. I guess SEP starter is what we want. Download. Open that up. Here's SEP starter. Main. Go ahead and copy that. It's going to say all this, which you want to change to be. Actually, you want to change this to register. So refactor, rename. I want to do register car. Register car. It's probably under view. I believe this is connected. Let's see if it can run. I don't think it'll run. Okay, so wrong package. View and register car. I think one of the things you have to take note, which I think I didn't consider, was, let's see, package Java fxml does not exist. All right, let's keep working and it'll fix itself. I guarantee it. Open. Control C. We're going to remove authenticate user. I'm going to remove message. I'm going to remove validate password. I'm going to remove all these. This. Generate salt. Touch login, which you want to change it to add car. I believe that's what it's called. Model is equal to new model, which we don't have a model yet because I haven't added it in. Going back. There's a database config, which we don't have yet. There's the database config. Change this to the name of whatever it is you named your database, which in my case is car database. That should be good. model. I think you just drag it in. Okay, load system file changes. Database config, cannot resolve symbol. This package is wrong. No, it's not controller. So if I type in is equal to new model. Sorry if I'm not speaking. I'm not entirely sure. Why it's not the packages isn't quite right, which I guess is probably because I've been importing it incorrectly. How about this new? This should make it easier. I thought I saved this. Okay, I'm just gonna delete this. Let's just delete this. Instead of dragging it in, I would say create a new Java class and then import in the methods rather than dragging it in like I just did. So copy this. Delete the extra methods that we don't need. Validate password, message, and authenticate user. We have make txt. Model txt. Fin txt. Year txt. Delete these. Models equal to new model, new Java class, model, enter. All right, this should. There we go. Now that that works, we can go back and import in the code for model. Delete this method, that's the incorrect method to use. Method to compare salted hashes, we don't need that. Verify login, we're not using that. At least I don't think we're using it. If there is, then you would want to go back in and change that. So database config is, I wonder if this is another case of me messing up the imports again. Import. What import model? Something like that, no? Package model, that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Let's fix this controller. The controller is what sends the information to the model. So we're going to do... Let's check out this real quick. Make text, model text. See, I messed up the naming conventions here. In the controller, it should all be green. All right. So I think we're going to pass on the information into our model class. So we're going to do string make model year then. Then we're going to generate getters and setters. So right click, generate, alt insert if you want to do that, getter and setter. Select all these, press OK. Now go back to the controller. So we're going to do string dot, you know what, we don't have to do that. So let's remove some of this stuff. Is valid, we're not checking if it's valid or not. Else message, no thanks. We're not going to change the scene either. We're not generating any salts. We're just simply saving it. All right, ignore this for now. Let's all right, so now we got to take the information passed into these text fields and send it into our model using the get methods or set methods. So we're going to do set model, model.set model, something like that. Let's do set make. Model.set make, model.set model. Model.set fin, model.set year, and now we're going to do set, or we want to get the make, so do this make up here, dot get text, model text dot get text, then text.get text year text.get text. What does it say? Get make model cannot. So I think one of the issues I had was having model here. No, I guess that didn't work here. Get make and model. Get model, set model. Yeah, okay, my bad. It says get make. It's supposed to be set make. Make mistakes. So now whenever someone presses the add or the register button, it runs this method in the controller, and the controller says create a object of model, and I need you to run the set make methods and then grab the information that this user had provided in the make text box and sends it into here, or I guess technically through set make or set make. So it sets everything, and then that's really all you need to do. You don't need this stuff, I don't think. That should already be. Actually, you know what? Let's now run the method. Let's run a method called add car to database. He says he wants a constructor that takes in multiple parameters. So I don't quite know what he wants us to send from maybe the controller to the model. But I can probably figure it out. We can probably figure that out later on. So public void this is going to actually, whoops, let's just use this. Yeah. All right, let's delete that. So it's going to run this method in the model class. It says insert into our database. In this case, it's going to be not in the database because we've already called the database in our database configuration. So not the car database, but rather more specifically car info. Yeah, so car info. If I can get it to run. Insert into car info. Ooh. Yeah, okay, so car info, our make, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Make, model, year, and VIN. And the values of these question marks are going to be filled in here. So we're going to do make dot, wait, get make, get model, get year, and then get VIN. So now we insert into the database the make, model, year, and VIN using these values, which are passed through here. If you ever make another one, make sure you have the next one set to 5. If you do 5 columns, I think those are called columns. Let's go ahead and run it. So let me check what's wrong with the code here. Model.add car to database does not work. Oh, okay. So let's just delete these. I don't think there's any extra stuff in here. Let's go ahead and run it. Get some errors or something. Java package does not exist. Scene does not exist. Scene does not exist. Scene does not exist. So this is some issues with my installation of Java. I'm pretty sure I had a JDK installed of Java 8. But I don't think I do anymore. Also, you know, I forgot to mention, go to your modules to install the connector to your database. How long has this been going on? 23 minutes? Jesus Christ. Go to the plus, jar directories, and you're going to want to find your connector. So mine, I installed it. I feel like I installed it somewhere in Clips, but it also might be in my C drive. Users, C, program files, Java. No. Okay, so since I can't find it, I'm going to use what I just downloaded in Substarter. It should be in here, I would guarantee it. Yeah, no. Alright. Give me 30 seconds while I find the database connector. So the database connector is essentially a jar file that allows the database to connect to your Java application. The database config file, the database config file kind of sets it all. Actually, I guess it's already installed. Alright, the driver manager connection and SQL exception. I guess that's what you want. But if you don't have it, but you have it downloaded, go to modules, dependencies, press the plus sign, jars of directories, and then you can find it in here. So I need to figure out why it says cannot find symbol, action event, this kind of stuff. Action events never used. Of course, it's not. quite see if there's any errors in my code since it's not wanting to run. So give me a second while I try to figure this out. I thought I had... Let's try something else. Project structure, project. Let's try seeing the GRE works. No, that doesn't work. Cancel. Let's try if this one works. No, does not exist. 10. Run it. No, it does not exist. Just gotta throw a bunch of errors if you try to use, for some reason. I don't know what a module graph is, and I don't know how to change it. Alright, I'm going to download the JDK for Java 8. Here it is, Java 8 and JDK. I can guarantee I've downloaded Java 8 before. Alright, whatever. Skip ahead till this is installed, I guess. Okay. Cool. See, it says, I feel like I already have it installed right here. JDK 1.8. But... Okay, there we go. Yeah, see it? Alright, I guess this is the new one. Wait for that to install, and then we'll set it up. Alright, it's installed. Press OK. I'll set this to 8. See if that works. It should. I'm hoping it would work. Okay. Let's build it again. Alright, time for real errors now. Okay, so looks terrible. Make Honda model, I don't know, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 3, and then there we go. Press button. Operation failed due to no suitable driver found for the local host. So that means I gotta download the driver, which I guess I didn't install. So look up Java SQL connection. Whoops. Connector J, this is what we're looking for. Platform independent. Zip. Let's do zip. I don't want to do a tar file or whatever. Alright. It should be right here. Or this one right here. Connector jar. I'm just going to drag it right into the source. Alright. Come on. feel like I have it installed somewhere around here as well. Let's just download it right into my C drive. Okay, so now that we have that placed in there, go to project structure, modules, dependencies, add the plus sign, jars or directories, go to your C drive or wherever you installed it. In my case, it's the C drive. Program files, Java, connector jar, press apply, press OK. Try to run it. Honda Odyssey 1999, and then 1234 is the VIN. Press button. I didn't change it. Access denied for user Tamrat, a localhost. Silly me, I didn't change the database configuration. This is not the right username or password. I believe the password is here on my computer, so let's try that out. It'll be different for you, maybe. Honda Odyssey 1998, and then 1234. Press button. You can rename it whatever you want. Nothing happened, which I didn't say anything to happen. We'll check into our car info, and there we go. Now you might want to clean this up, change the text on button to something else. Verifying is a different story. There's some methods that have already been shown in class. We can just use those. To reiterate, register a car, file not found exception, whatever. We can look at the text. Make sure you have the FX controller is equal to the name of your folder, and there's a period here, controller, which can get confusing because if you look at something like the database configuration, or not the database configuration, but there was something else that I had issues with. If you look at the main for your fxml loader, it's /. So you want to keep that in mind. Make sure you change this. You can change the title of the fxml. This just starts everything up. The controller connects the view to your model. So we are doing that by whenever someone presses the button, it just sets all the information and then it activates the add car to database method. The database config is just what connects the program to the database using the connector jar file, which we just downloaded. And then the model has getters and setters for these values, blah blah blah, strings into the, not the database name that's in the config file, but rather the table name, car info, with your make, model, year, and VIN. It should be in that order. I don't know if it works any different order. It may. I wouldn't want to risk it. Add commas and question marks if you have more tables than that, or columns than that. Make sure these are 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another issue that comes up if you ever try to change it. And other than that, that should be it for the most part. You might want to change the model to be a constructor or add a constructor for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure how I would add a constructor, but if I did, how would I do that? Otherwise, we're done for that. I'm just going to think about how I would do the constructor for this. I would probably do a constructor by... All I would do is pass information. So I guess just do, you know, like the name and then... I don't know. I guess just do this. Just do make that get text. Like that, you know, model.getText, like that, that kind of stuff, to pass it into here. Then you can run the getters and setters inside the constructor. So a really quick demo of this would be if you named it public, the name of the class itself, or not the class, yeah, class, or the file, model, and it's going to throw an error. It won't throw an error, my bad. We're going to name it string, make string model string year string VIN, and then you would run this dot make, which is this, right? I don't remember which is which. Okay, so make is right there. So we'll do set make using make, then repeat for the process. So it has a constructor named model. So whenever you want to run this controller, instead of doing all these, you just run the new model constructor, which you have to change here. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps for the exam. If you have any questions, don't forget to hit me up on Discord or on GroupMe or something like that. Thanks.